Okay, let's take a look at mallard wings. Whether they come from eBay, your local fly shop, a friend, or you bag your own duck, mallard wings can contribute a lot of material to your material stash. There are three sections to a mallard wing: the shoulder, the forearm, and the wingtip. On the wingtip, you'll find the primary flight feathers, and on the forearm, you'll find the secondary flight feathers. Both are generally referred to as quills and are where you will find most of the winging material for quill wing patterns, wet or dry. And slightly overlapping the primary and secondary flight feathers are the coverts. The coverts continue to the leading edge of the wing with successive overlapping rows. Coverts provide us with both winging material and nice feathers for soft hackles. There are 10 primaries on a mallard. Some birds have as many as 16. However, don't count on getting 10 perfect pair of matched quills from any set of mallard wings that you get. On this pair of wings, purchased through eBay, you can see some of the primaries were damaged by shotgun pellets and others are simply missing, perhaps lost to a predator. The seller shipped the wings spread and open. Here's another pair that I purchased, and these wings were shipped closed rather than spread. Whichever way your wings arrive, open or closed, you can expect to get 7 to 10 pair of left and right primary quills. I got 7 out of the possible 10 for this set and 6 pair of secondaries. Let's take a closer look at the primary flight feathers. As you can see, the pointer quill is the longest on the wing, and the leading edge of the feather appears to be solid, blunt, and hard. It is blunt and hard, but far from solid. It's here that we find the biots. Whether the bird is a turkey, goose, partridge, or duck, the leading edge of the pointer is usually made up of biots. If you pull or clip these quills, pair the right and left wing quills in the order of their relative position from the pointer to the last quill. Pairing them this way will provide the best size and color match. Whether you're tying wet flies or dries, the gray coloration of the mallard quill is just what you need when a pattern calls for a natural dun. Looking at the underside of the quill, you can see both a glaze and a color change line that stretches the length of the quill. This is the Ventral Ridge. The fibers between the ridge and the quill are spongy, slightly hollow, and not suitable for winging flies. However, the material on the other side of the ridge is perfect for winging. One feature that makes this section of the feather so desirable is that the barbs can be split and rejoined. Many feathers have this ability, but wing feathers have it in an abundance. And as a bonus, the barbs aren't fussy who they join with. Barbs from the flight feathers of different birds join together just fine. The pointer feather provides the smallest usable section of winging material, as the ventral ridge takes up most of the barb length. As you move in along the primaries, you'll find the feathers are shorter, but the usable length of the feather is greater than that of the pointer. These secondary feathers are aptly named as they are usually your second choice for winging material. Secondary feathers are shorter than the primaries, and the feather barbs are finer, and the tips often taper too sharply for some people's tastes. You can use the finer barbs to your advantage when tying smaller flies. The finer barbs are easier to set in smaller sizes and seem to fit the hook better. The secondary barbs are also softer, and some prefer them over the barbs of the primaries for the action they provide in the water. Since the secondaries on the mallard are blue, they won't do for some patterns, but other ducks and upland birds can provide secondary feathers in colors that are commonly called for. Covert feathers provide us with more than winging material. That's a good thing because only a few of the primary covert feathers are large enough to provide wings, and even then usually only for smaller flies. As the feathers go from the covert primaries to the smaller, rounder, marginal coverts at the leading edge of the wing, they change size and shape. It's a gradual change going row by row from the primary to the greater, middle, and lesser coverts, with the marginals right out front. The good side of the change is that as covert feathers get smaller and rounder, they become perfect soft hackle collars and are sought after. Often, the marginal covert feathers will tie down to a size 18 soft hackle. This change in size takes place on the underside of the wing as well, primarily in white. The smallest covert feathers are at the leading edge of the wing, and the largest are the last row before the primary and secondary flight feathers. Hope you've enjoyed this video and found some of the information helpful.